This young man is admittedly undocumented, but he says he's trying his best to be a good person. And the woman who hired him hopes he can stay here and keep working. For Ms. Alexander's third grade class presenting for the first time the Pledge of Allegiance in Spanish at the school board meeting was not only special, but learning Spanish on a daily basis is a lesson they will keep for a lifetime. Hundreds of volunteers went out to clean up the city, but not only did they pick up trash at parks, the Las Cruces Youth Program spent their Saturday morning painting over walls to cover graffiti. While some came to see the world's famous Tarahumara long-distance runners, others came because of family ties. From a pot bowl made from scratch, many picked colorful bowls to enjoy their delicious soup on. This 29-year-old Chihuahua native who doesn't want to be identified left Mexico 6 years ago because of danger during the height of the cartel war.
Uno de los motivos principales fue la delincuencia que se está viviendo allá en el país.
He says the main reason was crime. A family member was killed, and that's why they're scared in their own country. He applied for a visa to come to the U.S. and look for a better future for his family. He ended up in Las Cruces because of a job opportunity.
Con las personas que estoy trabajando, estoy muy a gusto.
He says the people he works for are good people who know how to appreciate the work of a Mexican worker. The ranch owner who hired the worker, who also doesn't want to be identified, says she appreciates having a worker like him.
He is so kind, he is so honest. We can't do it without him. All this farm work.
About a month ago, ICE was making raids in different areas of Las Cruces. Workers were afraid to even leave their homes.
Antes solíamos salir sábado, fin de semana.
He says they would go out on the weekends, take the kids out to have fun, and since the president's administration, it's not the same anymore. And they're still afraid of being pulled over by any law enforcement and be deported.
They fear the police, they fear ICE, they fear the Border Patrol. They're always on their best behavior. They always check to make sure every blinker works, everything works on the car, so they're not pulled over.
The American Civil Liberties Union says undocumented immigrants have the same rights as a U.S. citizen.
You always have the right to remain silent. If an officer comes to your door and they're asking you questions, if they pull you over when you're driving, if you're walking and an officer starts to ask you questions, you don't have to answer them.
The worker has hope everything will calm down and that the President, Donald Trump, will change his mind.
Pledge allegiance to the flag.
Ms. Alexander's third grade class were the chosen ones to be the first to recite the Spanish Pledge of Allegiance at the Las Cruces Public Schools Board meeting on October 17th.
Thrilled to be able to model for anybody, and especially for a wonderful school district like LCPS.
We appreciate your
Even though J. Paul Taylor Academy is a charter school and not part of the LCPS district, they got invited to recite it because they are part of the language acquisition program. This means they incorporate the Spanish language on their daily lessons.
I feel good that we know it because when you grow up, you'll know it like that.
We are teaching the kids from kindergarten all the way up into the middle school how to speak Spanish with a heavy emphasis on social Spanish.
These kids every other day recite 3 pledges to start their school day. For Ms. Alexander's third grade class presenting for the first time the Pledge of Allegiance in Spanish at the school board meeting was not only special, but learning Spanish on a daily basis is a lesson they will keep for a lifetime.
Really an asset in the world that we live in. For people to be able to speak more than one language makes them powerful as an individual.
All the objects in the classroom are labeled in both languages.
Specifically red and blue, so that there's a link in the brain. When they see words around the room in blue, they know that that's English. If they see them in red, they know that that's Spanish.
Most of the students are not native Spanish speakers, but with the help of these programs, as they grow up, they will be fluent Spanish speakers.
These children are going to have richer lives for the languages that they're going to be learning and for the way that they learn, that it's very, very personal, and that they are able to build on their own learning.
Ms. Alexander's class will continue with the Spanish lessons in hopes they will have another opportunity to showcase what they have been learning throughout the school year. Runners from throughout the Southwest came to Las Cruces for a chance to run. With world-famous long-distance runners from the state of Chihuahua.
Well, I found out they were coming in March, and I just thought that it would be great to run with them. I know they run as a spiritual practice, so I thought that was very appealing to me.
He's talking about the Tarahumaras, natives of Copper Canyon in northern Mexico. It's the first time that Tarahumara runners came to Las Cruces, a chance for locals to meet with them and celebrate their culture.
You're gonna see the surprise, okay? And we're gonna get ready.
The waiting ended when the Tarahumaras arrived, welcomed with cheers and applause. Las Cruces veteran Casimiro Stevens wanted to be a part of this race, even if he wasn't able to run. He just wanted to meet the Tarahumara to remember his days in Copper Canyon.
We really enjoyed it down there, even though it was more or less old time, you know. But the people were very friendly, and we had a good time down there.
And now it was time to run.
Set, go!
Many participants ran next to the Tarahumaras, but there were also residents who simply enjoyed watching them.
And I know of the Tarahumara Indians, and that I guess I was interested to see them run, and I was also interested in supporting them.
While some came to see the world's famous Tarahumara long-distance runners, others came because of family ties. Eloisa Alvillar was anxious for the runners to pass by. She made a scarf to honor their culture. Alvillar says, "My heart felt like this. I already had this made and I thought to give it to them because they are my family." She said it was an unforgettable moment of pride in her culture. It's a nice feeling. I know a lot of people support us from the heart, and we're on top of this race. It's a joy to us for them to join us today. Race organizers say the turnout was bigger than expected. Everyone got the chance to see some of the best distance runners in the world.
It's tough running against them.
They run in traditional sandals made from old car tires and sometimes even have to go barefoot. They're used to running hundreds of miles non-stop, so this was not even a respectable warm-up. But it was still a lot of fun for everyone.
How's the run?
It was fine.
Melissa Barraza, News 22.